Welcome, this is Somaliland National Television. I'm Mohammed Aden here to present the English Bulletin. Here are the top stories making headlines at the moment. Presidential Press Secretary issues a press statement. Vice Minister of Education informs about a working visit to Ethiopia. Minister of Trade voices disapproval over House of Elders' refusal of privatizing oil refineries. Destination Northern Europe. Thousands make daily journey of death. The Presidential Press Office has issued the following press statement. President Ahmed Silani sent condolences to family, loved ones and the public of Somaliland over the death of Haji Dahir Ilmi Duale. The President prayed Allah to grant the deceased with ample sustenance and peaceful abode in hereafter. President Ahmed Silani has paid tribute to the efforts of the late citizen who played a major role in laying the cornerstone for Somaliland's peace, which the country has enjoyed over 2 decades. Vice Minister of Education and Higher Studies Ahmed Noor Faye, alongside the Director General for Higher Studies Department, informed about a working visit to the Ethiopian capital, where they had met Ethiopian government officials on key issues regarding cooperative efforts in improving education. The Vice Minister, speaking to media, stated that they met officials of the Ethiopian Ministry of Education to discuss efforts at improving higher education, while concentrating further endeavors in ensuring progress at all universities across Somaliland. Ahmed Noor Faye stressed the underlying necessity of their meeting in Addis Ababa with Ethiopia's Education Authority, which aimed at increasing friendly relations on education. Ethiopia provides university scholarships to Somaliland students at various university levels. For so many decades, relations between Ethiopia and Somaliland's Ministries of Education have been strong. The Director General of the Department of Higher Studies for the Ministry of Education and Higher Studies, Abib Ahmed Ali, elaborated on the essential role that Ministry will play furthering quality of education provided by universities across Somaliland to the clientele of students. Minister of Commerce Musa Qasim Umar held a press conference and discussed government's intent of privatizing oil refineries by handing over its responsibilities to private oil importing companies. Musa Qasim Umar, speaking about the privatization of oil refineries, stated that it's in the interest of increasing productivity of oil refineries and that it is instrumental in increasing government's revenue as it's being temporarily controlled by oil importing companies. The Vice Minister of Trade, Bashir Abdi Harir, stated that the ministry has all right to sign agreements with any partner if the signature is in the interest of progress and efforts at developing the country's sources of revenue. The Vice Minister expressed disapproval of a decision made by the House of Representatives to stop proceeding with this effort at privatizing oil refineries. The Governor of Marodi region, Mohammed Janere, holds meeting with district commissioners across the region to discuss issues relating to security and environmental preservation efforts. The Governor of Marodi region held a press conference after meeting district commissioners of districts outside the capital city to discuss efforts at increasing environmental preservation efforts and exchanged information in regards to security and the needs of local residents. District commissioners speaking at the event said that more have been achieved in increasing the quality of municipal services being provided to residents across all districts. The Governor, speaking at the event, says that the meeting was aimed to assess and understand the needs of residents across the region in regards to public services and the achievements made. It's been called the journey of death. Those who manage to make it through to Europe from Africa and the Middle East often face further struggles as they attempt to reach their final destination. Hundreds of refugees in Hungary have reportedly been stuck at a railway station in the capital for days, waiting to go to Germany. On August the 25th, Berlin announced it will no longer send away Syrian refugees and will process all asylum claims received from Syrian nationals. It became the first country to suspend the Dublin regulation, which forces refugees to seek asylum in its nation where they first arrive. Hungary has announced it has finished building a fence blocking access to part of its southern frontier. The United Nations estimates around 3,000 people per day will soon be moving along the Balkan route towards the borderless Schengen zone. According to the Macedonian government on Saturday, alone some 2,500 people took a train towards the northern border with Serbia. Most to start the route in Greece, where daily ferry loads of migrants enter Athens from nearby islands. The UN's refugee agency, UNHCR, has appealed to all governments to act with humanity and in accordance with the international obligations. 3 journalists with the TV channel Al Jazeera have been sentenced to 3 years in prison by an Egyptian court. The verdict in their retrial on Saturday sparked shock on the public bench. The case has triggered an international outcry since the trio were originally sentenced to between 7 to 10 years in jail on charges including spreading lies to help a terrorist organization, a reference to the outlawed Muslim Brotherhood. Now they've been sentenced in Cairo for operating without a press license. Judge Hassan Farid said the defendants dubbed the Marriott cell by the local press because they worked out a hotel belonging to the chain. Are not journalists and not members of the press syndicate and broadcast with unlicensed equipment. The trio denied all charges. One of them, Australian Peter Grest, was not present, having been deported in February. He took to Twitter to express his dismay at the verdict. The others, Mohammed Fahmy, a naturalized Canadian who was given up his Egyptian citizenship, and Egyptian Bashir Mohammed, who had both been released on bail, now returned to prison. That's it for this edition of our English news. Thank you for watching us. Do join us at the same time tomorrow. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.